Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down the kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, for these Kansas City Chiefs, they, of course, were Super Bowl champions 3 years ago. The win over the Niners in Miami. They fell to the Bucs in Tampa a couple years back. They had the blown lead in the AFC title game against Cincinnati last year. And now they're back, making their third trip to the big game in 4 years.
And their recent history only increases the urgency to try and win another Super Bowl title with this group.
Meanwhile, it took until Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles to lift the Lombardi trophy for the first time. And not too many players are left from that squad 5 years ago. But this new group is looking to write a new chapter of Eagles lore.
Yeah, we certainly all remember that performance in the win over New England. Nick Foles throwing for 373 yards, catching the Philly special that will go down as one of the most iconic play calls in Super Bowl history. Now they're back and looking to make it 2 titles in 6 years.
The stage is finally set, and here we go. Super Bowl 57 is underway. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
I think we all heard about it in the offseason. There were many questions asking if Philadelphia might consider bringing in another quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts. He answered emphatically, "This is my team," and he led them to a Super Bowl appearance. A well-deserved moment for this quarterback who just kept his head down, kept working, and eliminated all the noise.
First play, and Hurts looking to throw it. He's got a man, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there, and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field, because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Here's Hurts to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Calling a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Try! And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! Quez Watkins, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You got a lot to handle in this one.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
You can't help but continue to marvel at how well this man's career has gone so far. Now in his 5th season as KC starter, he's never missed a conference title game, and he's taking the field in his 3rd Super Bowl. Simply dominant, it's easy to envision him being one of the top quarterbacks for many years to come.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, it's a tough way to start this Super Bowl, Charles. You give up the touchdown, and then on the first play, you take a shot downfield, but it's intercepted. Yeah,
Brandon, remember when we sat down with their offensive staff before the game, the offensive coordinator showed us his play sheet, and what did he have written on it? Be bold. And that's exactly what they were on their first drive. It didn't turn out. The interception came, and now they're hoping their defense can bail them out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
Someone sharp in this game. He made a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 10 more there and another first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Hurts sets up to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This is caught. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll come out in the pistol. From the gun, it's Hurts. Touchdown, Eagles! Grant Calcaterra from 3 yards out. And the Eagles will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. That time a 6-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And now here comes Kansas City. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. It's taken to the 26. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth the salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get it. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
Well, that's what they have to do more defensively, not just getting sacks, but to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep is Kadarius Toney. This is brought in at the 21. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. A nice play design there with a touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Locates Hardman for another catch. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him. And some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And the Chiefs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've got their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now here's Mahomes. Flush to his right. To the right side, it's Kelsey. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
A big one here early in the Super Bowl. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Juju Smith-Schuster on a touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes. And the Chiefs are on the board here in this Super Bowl. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by the touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They go play action with Hurts. He's got him in, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity. Just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Like any team plan, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least. If they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
And that one will be no good. He never had it online. It's well wide to the left. Well, that is not what you want to see from him on the big stage, obviously. And he's been so reliable all season long.
A big part of why they've gotten here to this game. But you have to wonder, will this haunt them later as the Super Bowl progresses?
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jarek McKinnon. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw is Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? Understandably, pass rushers keyed up for this Super Bowl, but you can't do that.
And let's face it, no one wants to lose one of these quarterbacks early in this game. So you know they're going to be protected by the officials.
Well, welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. Mahomes, open man right side of Smith-Schuster, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. From the 17, Mahomes. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
They'll try to run this one in. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He'll try again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. And this obviously about as short of a field goal as you can get. Butker's kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take, Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down. Here's Hurts to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first down, Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
5 yards remain on second down. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive. And here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Taken down at the 30.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Hurts. Got a man. It's Brown. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Personal foul. Defense.
So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert. And the Eagles continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Elliott on for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They never went crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing now is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Mahomes now on 1st down. Screen play, McKinnon. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to get in the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They'll set up to throw. And this pass caught by Gray. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it will be Eagles Eagles football, 1st and 10. Jalen Hurts bringing the Eagles out for their next drive.
He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed, it's
snail's pace.
Snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants with it. He has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Mahomes going to throw. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. To throw, it's Mahomes. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me big tackles not part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt.
Butker's kick here is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So the interception set him up in terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 11 yards for number 11. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this one complete to Smith. 7 yards there and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Traditionally, as a defense, your #1 job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacted the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Looking to throw. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And this is caught. It's Ball. They'll get it inside the 20 and all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble in 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match. And maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Touchdown, Eagles! Chris Watkins, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. Well, let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 15 now. Touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mahomes now to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. From the gun, it's Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. The Sanders has got it complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Here's Hurts to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
So 6 seconds, all that remains in this first half as the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report.
First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for Kansas City. And the rushing numbers should tell the story of why they trail at the half. They're still in single digits in yardage as a team through 2 quarters of play. That's not good. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. This fielded right at the goal line. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. From the 22, Mahomes. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. That's sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Mahomes to throw. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And we'll see what he can do on the return. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught on the right side at Smith. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Throwing is Hurts. his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball. They leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll set up a throw. Quick slant here to Smith. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. It's complete to Brown, right side. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the Super Bowl.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. It moves right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Eagles are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Elliott good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and in the end it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. KC's offense ready to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat, and a first down. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Now Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they have to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game. And really, they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game. And I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw complete there to Smith-Schuster.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time you wait for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down now, run with McKinnon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run once more with McKinnon. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Javon Hargrave, the D-tackle, getting the sack.
And we all know how talented this guy is, who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
So on fourth down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This one from 48 yards away. Butker's kick here is good, and they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On first down, Hurts. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense, forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run with Sanders off the option. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. In the first half, he was held in check and on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Hurts. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that 6th sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes finding Gray on the out route. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to take this close to the first down markers. He stopped at the Eagles' 25. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Running legs ran a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now here's Mahomes. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be fourth down.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So on fourth down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and the deficit falls under 20 now. It's a 19-point game. Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing the second-half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. Finding space at the 40. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. Back to throw here. It's caught by Sanders. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Boy, that was certainly well run defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackled him for just a short gain.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. They'll look to throw again. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectation.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yards to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Going with their tight end on 4th. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Just 1 more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here in Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
They're bringing a spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Hurts to throw. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles are starting to pour it on in the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that will bump the lead up to 26. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And out come the Chiefs now. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mahomes finding Juju there for the Kansas City first. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. Screen play, McKinnon. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Flush to it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Hassan Reddick able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave it with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Another run here with Sanders. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We used to work relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Sanders, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Hurts going to keep it again. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. And now here comes Kansas City. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try and start this drive in the air. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Able to and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble is kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll go option on second down, right side. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll try the option on 3rd down. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Sanders. And he's got it down to the 28. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Second down and 7. They'll go again with Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Throwing is Hurts. It's caught, Smith. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
I'll tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Hurts. Goes right back to Smith again. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game and moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Sanders is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Elliott now to have the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll look to throw. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And this one is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Another run with Sanders. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and handle it with a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Brought down by Willie Gay. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible.